All right, y'all. Let's finish up with brother Tony Gaskins. This is gonna be part two. So anyway, before I get started, let me say this, man, because a few of his true believers came over here, right? You need to grow your own channel organically. You trying to get views off his name, and they because they don't know me, they think I'm just like every other or a lot of other YouTubers out there that's willing to do that. If I wanted to get views off of Tony's name, I would approach it much more differently than I am now. I don't really care about the views. See, that's one thing about having a small channel. I don't care. I could care less if I get views or not. I ain't monetized. Well, I guess I should be, but I'm not monetized right now. I still haven't applied for the program. But I ain't monetized, so I ain't gonna make a dime off of Tony's videos or saying Tony. And even if, let's say, somebody do sub to me, so what? Like I said, I ain't monetized. I have 100,000 subs right now. I ain't monetized, so I'm not getting no money from them. I ain't getting no money. Shout out to Tony, man. He built a little nice little situation over there for himself. Ain't nothing against him, but I'm just saying, those of y'all that think I'm mentioning all of these people because I'm trying to get views off of them. I ain't trying to get no views. I don't need no views off of these people. I got a real life. I got a real life with people that really love me. They really love me. I don't need views talking about Tony or talking about Charleston White or talking about Princella. I don't need views from any of these people. I just want them to stop doing saying things that are untrue. That's all I want. I want them to just stop doing that stuff. I think there's a better way that they could do what they're doing. And so, as an older brother, I'm just trying to tell them so they could do it. I'm not trying to get views off of them. I don't need no views off of none of these people, man. My life they ain't gonna make me. None of these people gonna make me or break me. They not. They not. They just regular people, man. Hey, man, shout out to Tony. He built up a nice little situation for himself. Shout out to him, man, for that, man. I'm not here to break that down or nothing, man. If my wife wasn't telling the truth, I'd say something to her. So I'm not, it's not about, well, I'm going after him because he got all these followers. I'm not going after him or nothing. I'm just saying my opinion. If you put a video out publicly, then you should be ready for the opinions that come back to you, right? Some people gonna agree, and some people ain't gonna agree, right? Just like Tony's true believers come over here. You're just trying to get clout off of him. I'm a grown man. I don't need no clout off no another dude. I'm gonna get clout off another dude. I know who I am. Man, listen to me. Look at this vibration that's coming off of me. You really think I need something from Tony? Tony Gaskins could give me anything? Only thing I wanted from the brother was to have a discussion with him over this situation. But if he don't, he don't. That's probably his best move. Don't talk to me. Be like Princella. Be like Charleston White. Be like Vlad TV. Be like Cheese TV. Be like them dudes. Don't even acknowledge me. Because if you put me if me and you get in the ring, in the verbal and mental ring, you're gonna lose. I got the truth on my side. You had a horrible disadvantage. So what do the other people do? They just ignore me. They just don't even acknowledge me. That's your best bet. Just do that. That's what Tony should do. That's the smart move. The smart move is to act like you don't never even heard of me. Don't even respond. Don't nothing. Because if me and you get into a public situation, you're gonna be at a loss. Just like Princella, just like Charleston, just like Vlad, just like Cheese, just like all of them dudes, man. You're gonna be at a loss. And I'm not trying to tear their business down. I don't care, man. Do whatever you want. Now, there's only one of these people that I really have a problem with, and that's Charleston, because Charleston says he's talking to kids. I don't want Charleston talking to kids. Charleston could go out there, have his, do his little comedy shows or whatever, if that's what you want to call them, right? Do your comedy show. But Charleston shouldn't be in front of no kids. Zero. No kids. If he's going to mess up some kid's mentality, let him mess up his own kids. And I don't even want him in front of his own kids if he's going to be that stupid. All right, y'all. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't have nothing against none of these people, man. All of them people that I mentioned, I have invited them over. Among others, I've invited them over to talk about different issues that I had a difference of opinion with, right? I don't, man. Do you really think that I think Tony Gaskins, true believers, gonna come over here and they're gonna start subbing to me? They not. They gonna roll with him no matter what. I can point out the obvious, and they still gonna roll with what Tony's saying, no matter what Tony say. I don't think none of them gonna come over here because I got a difference of opinion with them. I'm just trying to have a conversation, engage in conversation. Let me tell you something, bro. I ain't got nothing to prove. See, niggas got stuff to prove. I don't have nothing to prove. I can see more women than you. I got bigger car than you. I got more women. Niggas got those kind of issues. I don't have those kind of issues, man. I'm very content because I got a source of energy that nobody can cut off. Nobody can cut that power. So I'm good. No matter what you do to me or say about me, you can't cut my source of power off. So, because my power ain't in how many women I could be with, or my power ain't in how much money I got in the bank, or my power ain't in how many other men like me. Most of these dudes out here doing stuff, excuse me, most of these dudes out here doing stuff so that other men can like them, to try to get the approval of other men. Remember? That's what one of Kevin Samuels, shout out to Kevin Samuels, man, rest in peace. That was one of the things I disagree with him. You got to be accepted by these men. Man, I wish I would be trying to get accepted by. I don't want to be accepted by no men except the men of God. If the men of God have a problem with me, I'm trying to find out why. But these Negroes got a big bank accounts. Just a nigga with a big bank account. You still the same old raggedy ass nigga with a big bank account. I'm not talking about Tony in particular. I'm just saying, when we try to run around getting all these, because I don't know about Tony's life and everything. I don't know anything about him. So this is not me saying something about him personally. I don't know anything about the man. But what I'm saying is, a lot of us as men, we out here trying to, perpetrate for other people. And I'm not saying Tony's doing that. I heard him talking about that, but I'm not saying he in particular is doing that, but I'm saying I'm not one of those guys. I heard him talking about guys like that, but I am not one of those guys. I'm making that clear because he brought it up. I'm saying this in another video. He brought it up, and so I'm saying I'm not one of those guys. I don't need nothing from Tony. I just want to have an engaging conversation. But obviously, just like all the rest of them, there's two things going on. Number one, I don't have enough subs for them to even consider, right? It's a losing situation for them, right? Then on top of that, they're going to get creamed coming to talk to me, right? If we have a disagreement, I got the truth on my side 100%. So, and I can articulate it, so you're in a bad space. That's not someplace you want to go, right? I'm Ali, you Sonny Liston. Just avoid me as much as possible, right? Avoid me as much as possible, man, because it ain't smart. It ain't smart. You got everything to lose. I have nothing to gain. You ain't got nothing I want. You ain't got the money. I don't want your money. I don't want your fame. I don't want your name. I don't want your hits, your views. I don't want none of that. I just want to have an engaging conversation. You don't want it? Cool. I'm not mad. Oh, you mad at Tony. Now you want to. I'm not mad at Tony. I don't even know Tony, man. I wish the brother well. I hope he have much success. I'm just disagree with a position of his. That's all. It's just two men disagree. And then we can forget about it and go our separate ways. It's no big deal. But, sometimes people, true believers, man, they think, man, you said something about our beloved, our Savior, our Lord and Savior. So now we got to come to his defense. You ain't got to come to Tony, grown man. You ain't got to come to his defense. If he want to tell me something, if he want to tell me something that he disagree with something I said, then he could come over here and tell me. Not one of his subscribers going to come over here. Not one. I know he ain't worried about it, and I ain't either. I think what he would be more worried about is the same thing that Charleston and Priscilla are worried about, and that is me telling the truth. Me actually confronting them on the truth about some of the things they said that are out of pocket, in my opinion. I think that is a bigger concern than me trying to get views off their name. I think Tony's way smarter than that. I think Priscilla's way smarter than that. I think Charleston way smarter than that. It's a way bigger issue under the table than just I'm trying to get views off of them. I've been talking about Charleston for a year. I ain't got no view. Ain't nobody coming over here. The people that love Charleston gonna love Charleston. I've been talking about Priscilla for a couple of months. Ain't nobody coming over here, man. They just, you know what I'm saying? Her hardcore believers gonna believe her. That's it. Charleston hardcore believers gonna believe him. That's it. They think I'm just a hater. I'm just this big hater out here that want to get. I'm trying to get on some type of way, because those are the kind of people that they usually run into. They don't run into men of virtue, men that's trying to stand on a square, a good square, right? I never disrespected Tony. I never said nothing about him, his family, because I'm not that type of dude, man. I ain't got to go there, man. If I got a disagreement with a man, I'm going to tell that man. I went to Tony. I went to Tony and said, hey, Tony, I got a problem with what you said. Hey, man, can you come over here and discuss it with me? He's the one that didn't get back to me. I understand why. That's probably the best move for him, not to be seen in public interacting with me. I'm sure that's the best move. Same thing, Princess, same thing, Charleston, same thing, Vlad. The best move. I've invited all of them over here. But I just wanted to clear that up front, man. I'm not trying to get nothing from nobody. Shout out to Tony Gaskins, man. May he have much more success, right? But that don't mean that just because he's successful, nobody can say nothing to him. That's the same thing these weirdos were saying about Kevin Samuels. Oh, he can't say that about Kevin Samuels. That's Kevin Samuels. So who is he? Ain't nobody who you can't just, man, you can't disagree with the man. And I was saying this when he was alive. Man, rest in peace. But I was saying this while he was alive. There ain't nobody that's so great that we can't disagree with. We can't say, hey, that I disagree with you on this point. Right? Because I don't understand where you're coming from. And then maybe the person, that's why I invited Tony over. Maybe the person can clear it up. And then maybe you would get on one accord or not. Or not. Maybe you just say, hey, look, it ain't going to happen. But at least we had a conversation. We had an open conversation. Right? But black people, man, you disagree with somebody they like. Oh, you try to do all this, does it? Man, come on, man. He a man, I'm a man. I went to him as a man, say, hey, bro, let's talk about this. I mean, you should never go I wouldn't try to take the man's, business down or nothing like that. I wouldn't, right? First thing people like to say is, I got a brand to protect. Okay, protect your brand. Protect your brand. You right. Because, see, I'm a businessman, too, and I understand that It would be bad for you to talk to me if you ain't if you are not rooted in the truth. It's gonna be bad for you, especially on a fair platform. You done. That's why most of them ain't coming over here. They not. And it's an open challenge to any of them at any time if they want to discuss anything with me. Charleston, Princella, Tony, Vlad, Say Cheese, any one of them can come over here anytime they want to. Any one of them can come over here and say, hey, brother, we want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about this. I disagree with you. I'd be more than welcome to talk to them. I never disrespected none of them. Maybe Charleston a little bit. Maybe Charleston. I didn't like the way he talked about black women. I didn't like the way some of the things he said about black girls. So yeah, maybe I got a little triggered off of that one. But I ain't gonna apologize for that. I already made my line in the sand. I told him what I would apologize for. I would apologize for my behavior and my conduct if he apologized for his. We ain't seen that apology. We ain't even got an acknowledgement of wrongdoing. So I'll apologize when he apologizes. All right, man. I was just a little talk to Tony's True Believers, man. I don't have nothing against Tony, man. I don't even know the brother, man. You know what I'm saying? He seemed like an intelligent guy. I don't know him, but I mean, I just disagree with him on something. And we can disagree, right? That don't mean we got to go to blows and all of that. Oh, if you see me in the street, then come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm a real man, dude. I don't got to fight with somebody just because I disagree with them. If I disagree with them, man. I ain't the one with the problem. The people that listen to you is the one with the problem, right? I ain't the one with the problem. Hey, man, it's the people that listen to you on the points where we disagree. That's, to me, in my opinion, those are the people with the problem. You ain't got the problem. You got the money. You got their money. You got their eyeballs, their watch hours, and the money that you making off of them. You ain't got the problem. I mean, Tony ain't got the problem. It's the people that follow that advice and fall on their face. Now, I agree. Like I said, some of the stuff I agree with Tony, just like I did with Kevin Samuels. Some of the stuff I agreed with him, and some of the stuff I didn't. All right, with that preface, that's just want to let you know that that's where it's at. All right, y'all, let's get back to Tony, and his advice. And before I was talking about, when the last video left off with me talking about, when you should consider the body count of another person. If you see them currently have strange behavior, and they have unexplained absences, and unexplained wads of money that's unaccounted for. Maybe you might want to start inquiring a little more about what's going on with their lifestyle. Now, people say, well, why is the body count important, Clarence? It's not the body count so much. It's the fact that, let me put it this way. It does matter, but you're not going to get that answer. You're never going to, I would think that you were probably not going to get a true answer, right? Especially out of a woman. Men, I don't know, man. I don't know no man that's going to lie about it or whatever. And just, most men, what kind of men I know, they just going to tell you. And then if you roll, you roll. But, there's some men out there that's going to lie, right? And I would think most women would lie because they're more, women are more sensitive to a man judging them and thinking something about them, right? So I would think that to stop that from happening, they probably are going to, lie a little bit about their numbers, right? So I wouldn't even ask about what I would look at is her lifestyle absences. Hey, I tried to call you for 2 hours. Where were you? Oh, I was in the gym and I was really working out. Yeah, but you couldn't just tap in and say, "Hey, I'm at the gym. I'll call you back." Well, I was working out. I was working out. No, never argue with a woman. Don't argue with her. Just make a mental note and say, "Oh, okay." You let her build her own. Let her build the case to for you to walk away from her. Let her build that case. Oh, you trying to control me, right? I just wanted to make sure you were safe. But okay, I'm trying to control you. Okay, mental note on that one. Okay, she think me caring a lot about her is controlling. Okay, and then if you don't care, you don't even care about me, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Somebody crazy like that, you just gonna say, okay, all right. Don't argue with no woman, man. Don't pay. You just gonna dig yourself in a hole, and you gonna be like, what the hell is going on here? Don't argue with no woman. In my opinion. But that's me. That's me. I feel like if you argue with a woman, you just gonna lose every time because most women that when they argue with you, they ain't rooted in it's not rooted in they don't have to follow the laws of logistics. They follow the law of emotion and impulse. And they just say whatever, right? Because the goal most of the time for them is to just get that rise out of you, not to actually accomplish and come to a resolution, a positive resolution on whatever the issue is. Anyway, but that's I wouldn't say that's most women. I say that's a lot of women. I don't want to say most, but so you got to know what kind of woman you with. All right, but I wouldn't argue with any woman. Period. I mean, the fact that you have to argue with someone that lets you know that either you don't respect them or they don't respect you enough to listen, hear you out, and think about what you're saying, or them think about what you're saying. You shouldn't have to argue with anyone. Oh, Claire, you talking crazy. I know I am, right? I know I am, right? You're supposed to argue with somebody, right? All the time, right? Okay. All right, go ahead and listen. Go ahead and listen to these people out here, man. They'll tell you how it's supposed to go down. I'm just trying to tell you how to be happy. All right, but anyway, yeah, like I said, you want your the what do you call that? The body count is important for men. Now here's especially why it's important for men. It's very important. Okay, so men are very competitive. Women are too, but I don't think women are as competitive as men are when it comes to sexual performance. I think men are very, very, very competitive when it comes to sexual performance. And so a man will try to imagine himself as the top person in your catalog of people that you have had intimate encounters with, right? And so he's going to try to question you and see where he ranks in that stack. Now, his problem is his thinking. Most men's thinking is, if I don't rank high enough in that stack, then I might be a candidate to be pushed out of here, right? Or she might just be with me just because of the resources and not for the sex as well, right? And which ultimately means when she runs across somebody who has better sex and at least the same or more amount of resources, this could she could walk out the door, right? So since most men think that way, that's why they're so concerned. That one of the reasons why they're so concerned about the body count. The other reason why they're concerned about the body count is because as you have all these ejaculatory episodes, yes, your body will get rid of most of the ejaculation as waste when pregnancy does not occur, or when it does occur. It will get rid of most of the ejaculation contents as waste, but some will be retained. A small portion will be retained and absorbed by the body. That DNA will be in the woman. Now that's one ejaculation, two ejaculations, three ejaculations from three different people. You can see how it could quickly add up to multiple DNAs in the woman's system. So how do you fix that? How do you fix that? How can you cleanse a woman? You have to do a full body cleanse. You got to do a full body cellular cleanse. You have to do a cleanse as a woman if you're trying to give yourself, if you're trying to give somebody a clean slate to work with. People say, "Oh man, you got so many bodies." The bodies don't matter. It's the attitude toward the bodies that matter. It's the attitude, because somebody could have a lot of bodies and they could say, "You know what? I don't want to live this lifestyle no more. I ain't getting nothing out of it except ejaculation. That's all I'm getting. I ain't getting nobody to bring me closer to God. I ain't getting nobody to bring me closer to happiness. I ain't getting nobody bringing me closer to love. I ain't getting nobody to lead me into the Garden of Eden, where love is all around. I don't have nobody leading me around like that. I don't have nobody, and I don't have nobody that's trying to maintain that garden, right? I'm just out here running around with dudes in these weeds, right? So to show a man how that you think that much of him, a full body cleanse is probably necessary in most cases. In most cases, our sisters are running around with ejaculatory residue in the form of DNA, not sperm, but DNA that has been absorbed by the body, and the body has to account for that. Oh, I would know, Clarence, if my body was really. Your body is doing all kinds of different things right now, right this second while I'm talking. You have no clue the things that your body is doing on the inside right now. Running tests, killing viral cells, checking out other stuff. You have no clue. Keeping your blood pressure at a certain level. You have no clue. Compensating for low blood cell. I mean, your body's doing all kinds of different things. You think you're gonna know if your body was quarantining ejaculatory DNA and then accounting for that? Come on, man, come on. But that is going to put extra pressure on the body, extra stress on the body, extra strain on the brain. So what we need to do is remove that residue, remove that ejaculatory residue, and get it up out of there. Now, if you've been with this one man, okay, maybe you don't have to do it, right? Your body's used to that DNA. But foreign DNA, your body's always going to try to fight and quarantine and fight that and keep it in check. I know, man. I'm telling y'all some stuff, man, is way off the reservation. But if you are really a woman and you really, in my opinion, this is my opinion, but y'all go talk to Tony. Go see what Tony say. Tony's saying, hey, man, don't say nothing, right? But I say, hey, man, if you really digging somebody, show them that you care about them and show them that they're special. Most women don't know, even have a clue how to show a man he's special. They think having sex with him is showing him that he's special. That's not. You had sex with a whole bunch of different people. How am I special? You had sex with a whole bunch of different people. So there's gonna be other little things that go with that sex. Yeah, that's so meant that I'm special a little bit, but that don't mean that I'm above the rest. How can you show me I'm above the rest? By getting rid of the residue of any other person, removing that residue. Now there's a clean slate there. You're basically a cellular virgin, right? Because these are new cells. They haven't been invaded by this other DNA. This other DNA hasn't had to deal with it, right? Because every 7 years, you got new cells, right? You got a whole new body, right? But you always making new cells. So the minute you get that out, boom, you re your body don't have to deal with that quarantine, and also the fighting of that DNA trying to reproduce itself and creating other issues in the body. You ain't hearing me. You ain't hearing me. Let's listen to Tone, man. Let's listen to Tone.
Unless he's a virgin, 9 out of 10 men are going to lie. It doesn't mean that you have to lie to a man, but if a man asks that question, he's asking the question solely to use it against you. He's asking the question to paint a picture of you. And I remember in a coaching session, me and a client were talking, and she told me how many men she had been sexually active with. And I said, well, why is the number that number? And she said, because the first time that.
All right. All right. Now, I agree with him on this. Some men will use that against you, right? But that's what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. See, you're not addressing the real problem. See, the real problem is the standards by which you're sexually selecting. That is the real problem, right? That's the real issue. But to as a band-aid for that, we just gonna not tell nobody. We gonna play this game where we hiding all this information, right? That may be critical. Here's a person, man. Here's a man that's gonna make a critical, life-changing decision by putting all his eggs in one basket. And the reason why he's gonna do that is because he lied or withheld information that could help him make a decision for his own safety. For his own safety. To me, that's manipulatory. That's very manipulative, right? If you stop me, if you hold information from me to stop me from making a good decision to protect myself, are you really doing something good for me or doing something good for you? Anyway, I don't know why. That's something this lady should be telling a therapist, not a life coach, in my opinion. In my opinion. Life coaching should be more directed towards people trying to achieve certain things, aspirations, stuff like that. But therapeutic life coaching to me is not therapeutic. But hey, you know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Obviously, I must be wrong because he got people paying him to go in there and tell them how many men they sleeping with. So obviously, I must be looking at it backwards, right? All right, man. All right, let's go. Let's continue with Miss Gaskins.
It happened, it was taken from me. It was against my will. So every other time that it happened, other than when I wanted to, like when I was in a committed relationship with her, when she was in a committed relationship with her boyfriend, she said the other times that it happened was because she was afraid that if she said no, the same thing would happen. So right in that moment, I learned that we can't judge somebody based on a number like that because we don't know the origin story. We don't know the root cause of that behavior. We don't know what pressured them or what they were feeling or what they were taught or what they were shown. So you don't want to tell a man how many men you have been with sexually. Even if it is 0, you can simply say that's none of your business.
Okay, I agree with him on this. You don't want to tell somebody how many exact number of people you slept with. I don't think that's a relevant question. I think what a better thing to say is, hey, you know what? I'm focused on you, and I hope you're focused on me. I don't want to focus on anybody from my past or anything from my past. I want to focus on this situation that we have in front of us and see where that goes. Does that make sense to you? Right? You don't want to tell somebody that's none of your business. If you tell somebody, if you told me that was none of my business, this is a critical piece of information that I should have, but I know that you're not going to be able to give it to me because of the social etiquette and social norms. I know that you're probably not going to give me that information, or you're going to give me a false reading on that information. But if you just say, hey, that's none of your business, what else ain't going to be none of my business? That's critical to me. Having a relationship with you. What else ain't gonna be my business? I disagree with that one. But hey, man, maybe it's cats out there that'll take that and be like, yeah, I still want to be in a relationship with you. Okay, well, maybe it's so. Me, that would be a red flag, like, woof. Like, I would be thinking I'm at the bullfights, right? I'd be like, what? I'm about to marry you. I'm about to give you my name. I'm about to give you my life. I'm about to, raise your children with you. I'm about to do all this stuff with you. I'm about to make sure you covered and taken care of. And you're going to tell me something about you ain't my business? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll call you. Well, Clarence, how come you ain't called me? It's been 3 weeks. I've been busy. It ain't none of your business. It ain't none of your business why I ain't called you, right? All right, let's get back to Tone.
Women have to learn to be more assertive politely, meaning you can be direct and still be respectful and still be kind. And you can find a way to say it. If you know your accent or you know your personality, you can find a way to say, I would rather get to know you for you and not judge you by your past, and you not judge me by my past. And if a man is not mature enough and on that same wavelength, then he'll walk away. He'll say, well, hey, this is non-negotiable for me. It was great knowing you. Have a nice life. And go on about it. But one thing I can guarantee you, he'll only do that if you don't look like his wife, sound like his wife, move like his wife, talk like his wife, act like his wife. Meaning if you are who he wants, he will adjust, he will adapt, and he will make exceptions that he has not made.
I agree with him on that one. I agree with him. Too many men do that, and that's unfortunate, right? And then they end up 10 years later in family court, right? Because you broke this rule here, then you breaking this rule here, then you break this rule here, then you break that rule. Next thing you know, you done broke all your rules, and you sitting in a relationship that is absolutely out of control, right? I say, man, stick hard to rules, man. It's definitely when it comes to relationships, because relationships, they get tougher as time goes on. They don't get easier. They get tougher. They get tougher. So you need to go into a relationship with someone who you got the most comfort, and you know that, hey, man, they're probably going to tell me what I need to know if I ask, right? As opposed to, it ain't none of your business, right? Somebody that could throw you, it ain't none of your business, that ain't going to be the last time you hear, it ain't none of your business, right? And pretty soon you're going to ask something that you really need to have that information to make a good decision, and that person's going to tell you, it ain't none of your business. Why? To manipulate you into staying in a situation that benefits them but may not benefit you in the long run. It's going to benefit them, right? I say a relationship should benefit all parties involved, right? That's what should happen. You should get some benefit for yourself, right? While you living, why should you wait until you die to get some benefit, or wait till come on, man. You need to get some benefit while you living. So if you're not getting no benefits from being in a relationship, why be in it? Oh, I just want to show her that I care enough about her to throw my whole life in her hands, and then if she decides she don't want to be with me no more, that's just it, because it wasn't none of my business what she was doing. Nah, bro. That is one phrase. If you ever hear it's none of your business, that run. That is, because that ain't gonna be the last time you hear that. If somebody tell you it ain't none of your business, that ain't gonna be the last time you hear that phrase. And unfortunately, that phrase will have you breaking a lot of rules, and your safety will be in jeopardy because you're breaking common sense rules for your personal safety because of you trying to listen to this type of advice where no matter what this woman say, because he's so attracted to her sexually that he just gonna you can't be sound like a wife if you telling me something's not my business. How are you a wife? How are you a wife if you say something like that to me? How are you even in training as a wife if you saying something like that? No, man. No. I'm not, no. I'm not, no, man. No. All right, let's finish up with Tony, man. I like I said, man, I don't have no problem with him. I just disagree with him on some things, man. That's all. You know what I mean? That's it, man. So, Tony, get true believers, man. Tell your true believers, man, I don't have no problem with you. They don't have to come over here and cape for you. For what? For what? I'm just an old man that disagree with you, man. That's all. I mean, I don't understand why they want to come over here and, get at me. Like, you trying to give views off of Tony. Man, please stop. All right, man.
Or any other woman that he's dated. The third thing you don't want to tell a man is your complete vision of what you want in a man. You don't want to read a man your script, is what I call it. If you go on a date and you do too much talking and you read a man your script, when you read him your script, he will pick the star role in your script, which is Denzel Washington in your script. Denzel Washington is the star. He will pick that role and he will play that role until you award him with an Oscar. And then he will drop you and he will go on to the next project, the next movie role. And you will be lost in the sauce, hurt and abandoned. Let a man show you who he is instead of telling him who you want him to be.
I disagree. I agree with a little bit. Now, I agree with you can't tell the whole thing, right? You can't say, you can't have it down to a T. And I want him to wear these kind of suits, and I want him to have this kind of haircut, and you don't want to do that. But you definitely got to define the no-fly zone. Hey, the kind of man I'm looking for, not going to be yelling at me, ever. He's never going to raise his voice to me, unless there's a fire. He's never going to raise his voice to me. He's not, going to lie to me. He's going to be upfront as much as he can. Right? You gotta drop some deal breakers, because you gotta let people know, man, that But see, this whole thing is this is all based on the fact of the this is all based on the fact of what's not being addressed is the pookie picking. The pookie picking is not being addressed. What is the pookie picking? The pookie picking is not sifting through the character of a man to see the kind of person he is before you committing your body and your mind and your emotions to this man. You committing all that to a man that you haven't investigated thoroughly. You was too focused on, girl, I can't let him go. I can't. He look good. He's a man. He look good. He got that kind. He got that body, and he make this money. He got all this money, girl. And them dudes see you coming a mile away. Them kind of dudes see you coming a mile. So stop selecting dudes like that. Stop pookie picking. That's what is not being addressed. I can't go to any site where they're addressing the pookie picking. No, none of these none of these people are addressing the incompetence in sexual selecting. None of them. They telling you they working from the other end of the gun. Hey, they working from the barrel. Hey, just don't say this and don't say that. Let's work from the, that's the business end. Let's work from the administrative end of the gun, right? Where the trigger is. Hey, we got to get some information first so we can see what we're doing. But we got to do a slow walk. Right? But see, some of us, we try to play house too soon. Right? And then, we get confused, and then we go listen to people that, unfortunately, they're not trained on how to deal with people with severe traumas. And they life coaching them instead of getting their butts into therapy. All right. Oh, man. Yeah, man. It's just, I just think that, you need therapy. And life coaching is cool, man, for certain things. But like real serious traumas, man, you need therapists. For sure. All right, let's get back to Tone.
The fourth thing that you should not tell a man is
recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that
ain't writing nothing down. The fourth thing you should not tell a man is about your last relationship. See, the past is the past. So what you want to do is you want to tell this man when he says, so, have you been in a relationship before? Yes, I have. How many have you been in? None, really. I don't really count them like that, because if I'm single and available today, that means that they don't really matter. And, well, what happened with your last relationship? We didn't see eye to eye, and it just wasn't a good fit. What do you mean by that? I don't really know how to explain it. It just wasn't a good fit, and it's not something that I want to talk about. Past is the past. Notice how, and I want you to learn how I'm answering these questions in a very aloof kind of way. The thing, what it has been said that women speak 25.
I would just say, hey, look, I'm instead of being aloof, I would focus more on the current situation. In other words, instead of saying something like, the past is the past and this and this, instead of saying that, I would say something like this. You know what? I could tell you about those things, but I really don't want to think about that anymore. I've committed my mind to focus on seeing where this is gonna go. And I would just keep refocusing the dude on that. Hey, I'm here with you, trying to focus on something with you. If something comes up that I need to tell you about, I'll tell you. But I'm trying to date, and I think I'm okay. I think I'm in a good place. And now that I'm in a good place, and I'm in a good place from that situation, or not now that I'm in a good place, but I would just say I'm in a good place. So I don't have any issues with those situations, but that's not my focus is totally on this situation right here. That's what's got my attention. And that's what I would focus him on, that, instead of being a look, because I'm just telling you, me personally, if you was like that with me, that would raise flags for me. I would say, why is this person, so don't want to answer my questions? Something must be going on. Usually if somebody don't want to answer your questions, or they being manipulative, or they hiding something, they're usually hiding something that's very important, right? So why is this person hiding something? As opposed to, I'm not concerned about that. I have no interest in going over that. That's how I would focus it, instead of I'm hiding this information because I don't want you to judge me based on that stuff. And you're probably right. You don't want to be judged on it, but you seem like you hiding something when you answering and you're not really answering the question. Then when the man start doing that to you, then you're gonna have a problem, right? Well, are you married? Have you ever been married? Well, I don't really want to talk about the past. You got any protection orders on you? I really don't want to talk about the past. I really don't want to talk about the past. Are you fighting any cases right now? That's the past. This is a whole new thing, girl. Are you currently married? See, you asking too many questions. I didn't say nothing when you said. I didn't say nothing when you didn't say what I asked you. I didn't say nothing. That's what you're going to end up walking yourself into, in my opinion, when you do stuff like this, man. Then you're going to have the nerve to be mad when somebody lies or holds back information from you. You're going to be mad about that. You're going to say, oh, God, well, you didn't tell me that. And here you've been doing it the whole time. All right. A few more minutes, and then I'm going to have to make a part 3 and 4 on this one, man. I didn't even get that far with Tony on this one, man. I was too busy fussing at his True Believers, man, that came over here.
5,000 words a day, and men speak 10,000 words a day. The person who speaks the less has the most power. So when you talk too much and you tell too much business, you set yourself up for failure. So what I mean by that is, if you take and you go through this whole scenario, and you say you and your ex-boyfriend, y'all were together for 3 years, and he cheated on you, and you forgave him, and then you caught him cheating again, and you forgave him, and then you got mad, y'all started fighting, he choked you almost till you passed out, but y'all went to counseling for 3 or 4 sessions, decided to work it out, got back together, you got pregnant, he forced you to get rid of it, then you caught him cheating again, and this time it was with your ex-best friend, and you bust out his car window. And so this what I'm telling, there are so many women, you'll be surprised. There are so many women who use the man they are dating as their relationship coach about their past relationship, as their therapist. Do not take your lover, the person you're trying to love, the person you're trying to get to know, the person you're trying to build with, do not make that person your therapist. Go to therapy. Go to coaching. And don't try to dump all of your...
Go to therapy. Do not go to coaching if you have issues like that, man. When you have real traumatic situations. No, I know he has a business to run, and and none of his people going to listen to me. So, hey, keep paying Tony all kinds of money. I don't have no problem with that. He ain't stealing it from you, right? He's offering you a service, and you taking it. So I ain't mad at Tony. But I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, if you have issues with, domestic violence and stuff like that, you need therapy. You go to therapy, and you keep, for some reason, every man you pick, every pookie you pick is involved with domestic violence with you. There's something going on with you that's attracting people like that. And you need to address that. You need to address that. And this is what I can't stand about the life coaches. This is what I can't stand about the dating coaches. This is what I can't stand about the pickup artist coaches. None of these people will address the pookie picking. Nobody will address that. The incompetence at sexual selecting, that was not be, you got women out here in particular. Men are doing it too. Men are just as incompetent. But women are out here, they're incompetent. They can't pick a winner. They can't pick a winner if they're standing right in front of the dartboard. They can't pick a winner because they don't know what to look for. And the scale by which they're using to measure the types of things to decide whether they're going to sexually select this person or not, the scale is, there's stupid stuff on the scale. His body, his job, his position. That's cool if you want to be taken care of until you don't serve a purpose anymore. But if you want to love somebody and you want them to love you, first you got to learn how to love yourself. You got to love yourself enough, man. When people see that you love yourself, they approach you different because they know they can't just run at you with just regular game. They got to approach you different because you love yourself. Not like you conceited, but you just love yourself. Man, you love yourself so much you're not going to put yourself in a bad situation. And you're willing to take the risk of trying to make something happen with somebody who you can see that they love themselves as well. Oh, man, you ain't hearing me. Go on, listen to Tony, man. Don't say nothing, right? Oh, man. But, therapy, that's what you should do. I don't agree with the life coaching when it comes to trauma and domestic violence and stuff like that. Some serious stuff like that. That is not something you take to a life coach. You take that to a therapist if you can. If you can't work it out on your own and do the mental gymnastics to crunch it out on your own with whatever tool you can use, religion, whatever it is you need to help give you the discipline to work it out. You can't do it on your own. You need professional help. You do not, in my opinion, life coaching is not a replacement for therapy. And all it's going to do is make the life coach rich, but it's not going to really help you because as he's saying, hey, I'm telling these people about this, but that the pookie picking is never being addressed. The incompetence in the sexual selection, in the sexual marketplace is not being addressed. That if that's not going to be addressed, then you're not going to never have nothing. You're never going to have what you need to be able to do what you need to do, in my opinion. In my opinion. And people are making money. They making buku money. Right? It's like a lawyer, man. Lawyer got a slam dunk case. And he keep dragging it out and dragging it out and dragging it out because the charges. He's going to get you the charges. He know he going to win it or he know he going to lose it. But he keep dragging it out, dragging it out, dragging it out. Oh, we got to go back to the court. Oh, I moved it to another day, right? I moved it to this day. I moved it to this day. I moved it to this day, right? Man, I'm telling you, man, people that know their game, they know their game. And so they know how to get this money off of you. One time I took a car to a mechanic one time. I had an old car that I liked, this old car, right? I had a car, I had regular cars, but it was an older car and I liked it, man. I just liked driving that car. It was an old car. It was an old van, Mazda van, and a minivan. I loved that car, man. It was cool. I loved it, right? I could, it was like my little truck, man. I could take it. Okay. So it started breaking down, right? And so, it was old, so I knew it was it wasn't going to last forever. So I took it to this mechanic, and the mechanic was like, oh, yeah, it's going to cost $300 to do it. Fix it. Oh, okay, no problem. And I had to bring it back a month later. Oh, yeah, it's going to cost $400 to fix it this time. Oh, okay, no problem. Then I bring it back a month later. Yeah, it's gonna cost $500 this time. The last one he got me, it was $600. I said, wait a minute, man. You notice I keep coming back here? And he was like, he just looked at me like, yeah, I know, dude. I'm gonna keep bumping your head until you finally figure it out. You see, I got these workers here, right? I gotta pay them, right? And I was like, I got you, dude. I got rid of the car and I got rid of him as a mechanic, right? All right, y'all. This is we've been talking for an hour, man. I got to come back because I got to wrap up this thing with Tony. No offense to Tony, man. No harm. At least on my end, I don't have anything against him or Charleston or Princella or Vlad or none of them. I don't have anything against them. I just have a disagreement with them. The only person I really have a personal problem with is Charleston, because Charleston is talking to kids, and I don't like the fact that somebody that's that out of their mind and that spaced out. Do I have something for him? Wait a minute, I have something for Charleston. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Charleston is just off the radar, man. And also the Queenmaker. I don't want to say Tony's off the radar. Tone, I think I just got a disagreement with him. I think his heart is in the right place, but I just think he got he and I just got different ways of looking at it, man. But I'd like to have the conversation with him if he's willing to come over here. But so far, radio silence. But like I said, I usually don't expect people to respond back. Most of the people I hit, they don't even respond. So, but anyway, and that's nothing on him. It's a smart move for him and his camp. So shout out to Tone. Hope everything, much success to you, man. But anyway, if you put something out, it's going to be, I might criticize it, and I don't need the views. I don't need the money. I don't need this. I got my own job. I got my own home that I own all the way out. I don't pay no mortgage on my home. I own my home. So I don't owe anything. Only thing I'm paying on is some cars, and I'm about to pay them off in about a year. So that's that. All the debt I got. So anyway, I don't need nothing from nobody. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. I don't need views, clicks, likes, none of that. Anyway, I'm going to come back talking to Tony's True Believers, right? So we're going to come back. We're going to do part 3. This is part 2. We're going to do part 3, y'all. So don't go away and keep your eyes open on this series where we're talking about the 5 things that a woman shouldn't tell a man up front, based on from Brother Tony Gaskins. All right? All right, peace.